Hello guys and welcome. Today I want to talk about a very interesting control, the numeric up-down control. So what is a numeric up-down control? So we're going to make a comparison with the default numeric up-down and the one that we find in our library. So let's just type in the Visual Studio toolbox numeric, and there you see two controls. One is the default Windows numeric and the other one is the one we get in our framework or in our library. So let's see the comparison and let's see the differences and the similarities. So by default, as you can see right there, we provide a better looking, a much bigger numeric up-down control. When I say bigger, I'm referring to the visual styling size and the appearance of the control itself, the padding and the indentation of the values in there. So what are the differences? Well, as you can see, there's a lot of customizations you can make. So let's try to make these customizations and run the application later. So the first control that we get is the auto rounded corners. By default is set to false, but when this is set to true, you see that the radial values are applied to the corners of all sides. Now it's a radial type of the numeric up-down. Let's change the border color so that you can see better. By default, the border color is this shade of blue. Let's change it to black. Now you can see the radial style or the circular styles applied to all the corners from top left, top right, bottom left and bottom right. We can change also the thickness of the border to 2, and we can change also the styling. By default it's solid, but we can change to any styling, the dash, the dot and the so forth. Let's revert the border thickness to 1. So these are some of the customizations we can make. Let's try to change the other properties. We have the fill color, it's white. We can change it to black, and we can make the fill color a contrast of the fill color, white. And we can change the up down to black, and we can also change the up down control color to white. So this can be a full black control or a full white control. Let's change to a full white. There you have it. It's now a full white. So you can change this from full black to full white or to any other color that you want. Let's revert the styling from dot to solid. Let's set the auto rounded to false. So these are styling that you can put right there. Interestingly, we can also change if you want the maximum value to be more than 100 and minimum to be more than or less than 0. So the maximum can be more than 100 or less than 100. Let's change the maximum to 5. Let's change the minimum to 2. Right. So as you can see right there, the minimum becomes the current value because the value cannot be less than 2. That is the minimum. And when we run the application, let's see what we get. So let's build the program and allow a few moments to run. There we have it. Now you can see the maximum is 5. We cannot exceed 5, and the minimum is 2. We cannot go beyond 2. Maximum is 5, the minimum is 2, just as we have set, as you can see right there. What other customizations can we make? We can also change the incremental value when we have an up value or a down value. What's that? Well, let's increase the minimum to 5. Let's also increase the maximum to 100. Let's change the incremental value to 5. Let's run the application and see what we get. So we're building the application. Let's give it some few moments to save the changes, to compile and run. We want to see if the changes we've made will be reflected. So we have 5, now we have 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 feet. So the incremental value is no longer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An immediate value after the current value is incremented by 5. And so is the decrement as well. The minimum is 5, and as we go, the maximum is 100. So these are some of the customizations we can make. We can change the incremental value. We can also change the maximum value, and we can set a minimum value which becomes the current value. The values cannot go down below the minimum. By default, the minimum is 0, but in this case, we have changed to 5. It says, as you can see here, we can also change the state of the 1000 separator. For example, we can set it to true. Let's change the maximum to 10,000 and the minimum to 1,000. Now you can see the 1000 separator is set. If we change the 1000 separator to false, now you won't see the 1000 separator. But if you revert it to true, you can see it. So let's increment by 500. Let's run the application and see. So if you are reflecting some currency and you want the 1000 separator to be displayed, you can simply set the 1000 separator property or feature to true. Then your users will see. So this is 1000, and remember the incremental value is 500. So we're going to 1500, 2000, 2500, 3000, 3500, for 4.5 to 5, 5.5, and so forth. Same as the decrement value. It will be decremented by 500 as we have set right there. So these are some of the customizations we can put right there, and I invite you guys to go ahead and use this, because this numeric up down control that we have, it's built on this default up down, but we have added extra features. As you can see right there, we can change almost anything. These are the features that we have added. You can even add the decimal places. We have 0. Let's try to put 2. Now we have decimal places. Let's change these to 4. Now we have decimal places, but by default, well, it's 0, and we have set 2. So this is 1000 with 2 decimal places. So these are some of the styling that we can apply there. Let's change the border to 2, and the radius is set to 0. Let's change this to 5, and let's run for the last time. So I invite you guys to use this numeric up down if you want more customizations in addition to the default one, because we have taken all the features in the default numeric up down and we've added extra useful features. So as you can see, we have decimal places and we have 1000 separator. So this is a numeric up down that you can use in your application, and you can put any styling to suit your theme and needs. If you're displaying currency, well, these are the settings that you can put. Very useful settings. So thank you so much guys for listening and watching this tutorial. I'll see you in the next video.